Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your DevOps SRE DevSecOps coach. I have close to 18 plus years of experience working in multiple MNCs around the globe and having in-depth knowledge of DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. So I would like to introduce you one certification program in a DevOps, and that is we call it DevOps Certified Professional. Now this is a 2 months of program, 25 tools of DevOps you will learn, and apart from that you will also get the access to the LMS, lifetime access to the videos portal. It's a certification program, and you will have 25 assignments and 2 projects along with it. It's a completely weekend program, so here you have classes on Saturday and Sunday. So as part of this course, you will learn multiple things. Here you see that you will learn Linux, AWS, Docker, Jira, Confluence, Python, Git with GitHub, SonarQube, Maven, Gradle, Packer, Artifactory, Selenium, JMeter, Ansible, Kubernetes, Helm, Terraform, Jenkins, Datadog, Splunk, and Neuralink. Now, how do we, apply for this? So how can you reach out to us? So you have a WhatsApp number and email ID, so please reach out to us and we'll help you to onboard this program. Apart from this DevOps certified professional programs, we are offering other certifications as well in a DevSecOps, SRE, and one of the very comprehensive programs which we have is in Master in DevOps Engineering. Yeah, so feel free to get in touch with us and then enroll for it. Thank you. Install as such, and then I will do nothing but run this script. This script will do everything for you. But yeah, if you are trying to be mastered in Kubernetes, I would suggest you to go through line by line of the script, understand it, and see that. So now this I did it. Okay, one thing I missed it. I cancel this one. One thing I missed it. I should have changed the host name. So host name is Ubuntu and worker also have Ubuntu. Will be a problem. So let me change this host name CTL host. Hmm. So this command, I'm changing this one master. Okay. So now host name done master. Now I'll run this script. Oh, I don't want the mail host name conflict. Done. So now let it happen. It will set up a master. Meanwhile, also I'll just log into worker. So worker this machines and start it. Okay, one thing I forgot to check. There should be at least 2 CPU, at least 6 GB RAM. So let me see that if it is there. So oh, this will fail actually. So cancel. So I forgot completely this one. So go to this. You have to stop this actually. Okay, and setting, and here I'll just send 4 GB or 6 GB at least, and processors to CPU at least minimum. Okay, save it and restart it. This I'll just stop it. Worker also, and let me see that. Done. Okay, so now let me see if I get same IP address. Yes, Rajesh, Rajesh 123. I think I inserted wrong password. Rajesh 123 sudo -s Rajesh 123 and go to the location CKS, setup, and latest, and here run this install master. Let it run now. I don't think so there'll be any problem in it. Meanwhile, I'm going to access the worker also. So for that worker, I'm just setting the some 2 GB RAM and 2 CPU. That's okay. For worker, that's okay. 2 CPU, 2 GB RAM is okay. And here for running this, meanwhile, you can check this download. So it will take some time um, to download because it's my running in my laptop. If you are running in the cloud and all, it will be much faster. So now, what is this? Ubuntu. There's some issues. Okay, I think networking issues actually. Rajesh, Rajesh 123, sudo -s, Rajesh, Rajesh 123. First, let me ping the google.com. Okay, there's a problem. Google is not accessible. Just let me pause this. This VM has some issues.
This conference will now be recorded.
Rajesh 123, ping google.com. Still, this is not coming. Okay, let me check this. IPA, it's correct. IP address is correct. Ping google.com. Okay, let me stop this one also. Power up, power up. Setting, networking, refresh. Refresh, and this setting also refresh. Okay, so now let me start this. Rajesh, Rajesh 123, and ping google.com. strange. Okay, just give me some time.
This
But
conference
still
will
they,
now be recorded.
yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So Google ping not happening. We'll check it out later. But still I see that network is there. So yum apt get update. Okay, sudo. Let me do that. So internet is there. Internet has to be there. Why this ping is not working? I can check it out offline. Let's not spoil this update. I'm updating here, and this should be done faster. So there's no problem in the internet connections. So that is relief. So let's go for running this command again. Same command. It will do everything and install master. Okay, so let it happen this one. Same time I will do that for worker also, just to save time. So worker, you have to run another script, that this one. Okay, so let it happen. And Rajesh 123, and host name, I'll check this. It's a Ubuntu, right? So I'll make it worker. So host name, CTL, set host name. So what is IP address? Let me check. 31. So here, new session 192.168.1.31. Rajesh 123, sudo -s Rajesh 123. So this is the worker. Let me change the host name. So worker 1, done. Host name, done. Now I'll repeat the same process with this one also. So I'll just clone this code in the worker machine and enter. You are able to clone. Now go to the CS environment, latest, and give this worker command. I'll run this all the script, chmod 755 worker, and done. This will do the worker one. So worker is happening, and see master is also happening, both. It will take some time to set up. Just wait for it. Any questions so far?
No.
So we'll have to wait for 3 to 4 minutes. Everything will be done through this script. So I'm logging to the master once again from the different sessions, just to check why Google thing is not working. So okay, Let's wait for it.
Rajesh, are you speaking something?
No,
No.
actually, I'm waiting for that this
Okay.
script to be get completed. So let it
Okay.
complete.
I thought you have muted. That's why.
Yeah, yeah, almost done. This is the worker, and you see up to the 4 minutes max it will take. Okay. So now if you see that very carefully, this one, uh, very carefully, uh, look at this. My cluster has been set up. Okay. So this output you have to read it. Okay. This using that you can set up a workstation. This file you need it actually. Content of this file. This one. Okay. And in order to install networking, you have to use this one. Now I have already installed Calico. Okay, so that is one. So this is the output of kubeadm init, and this command is required for running, adding the worker to the master. So this command will you will run in worker. So as many worker if you run that, those will be added to the master, creating to create a cluster. So this is very important. Please read it very carefully. This is already done in the script. So now what you need to do, this master has been set up, but this command I just said, it need to be run in the worker. So worker, let me see if it is ready or not. So worker, yeah. So worker is ready also. So now I need to run this command, which is I got it in the master. So let me copy and paste. This command you run in the each worker and will become a part of the cluster. Okay, there's some problem in that. Uh, so this command should be one actually. I think it's breaking. Yeah, it's breaking. So it should not break here. So now run in the worker, clear the screen, enter, done. Okay, so worker is also set up. I have added one worker. You can set up as many worker. That last command we need to run in each worker after that running the script. So now, so you see that this is the master, this is the worker. As per the discussions, we got the master and worker. Any questions so far?
So let's say if I have 3,000 nodes, then we need to run 3,000 times, right? The same command on the
So
worker
that is
machine.
where you 3000 times you have to run this command, but there's the automation tools for it, like
Okay.
Ansible, Puppet, data, user data you can use on the AWS, user data you can use on Azure also. Correct now? During the boot, it will run that command.
Okay.
So that's the thing. Now I need to set up a workstation. So if I set up a workstation, then I will send the command to API server, and API server will take care of the rest of the thing. So how do we set up workstation? So here I told you, you need to have a kubectl installed in your machine. In kubectl need some config file. Config file, this one if you noticed, you might have noticed this one. See here, this config file. In this directory you need it. So you can copy this file from the master, which is here. Look at this master. So this file I need it at this locations, and then kubectl will be configured. Okay, so this file, what will be the content? So this file you will have a content of where is API server, certificate, token, and all stuff like that. So we call it a kube config file. Okay, so this you need to set up in the workstation, but I'm doing one thing, because mastered you have a kubectl also and config file in the same server. So I'm using mastered itself as a workstation also, because both files are there. Okay, so can we go and check? So let me create a new view of this. Bold 14, apply. Now can I check whether my kubectl is installed or not? So first thing, which kubectl? Mistake. See here, is installed. Now I need to check whether the file is there or not in user home. So home. slash dot cube config is there already. So this script has done it all this work. I'm just explaining it to you. So my workstation is also set up. So how do you start with the commands? So mind it here, I'm running any commands from the workstation. Okay, though I have workstation set up in the same server, but fundamentally it should be different machine. This should be different and this should be different. Please understand that. Okay, so now kubectl get nodes. How many nodes you have? Two nodes. One is master, one is worker. How many? And I told you right, all these applications, if you remember that, all these applications, these all applications, can we check? So let me run this command. Kubectl get pods hyphen a means all pod. See that here. So this is the pod. Now what is a pod? I'll talk about it, but just give me some time. This is the applications API server, and here etcd, here controller manager, and here you have scheduler. Now you have a two proxy. Why? Because there's a two worker, right? Each worker, each machine, each node will have one proxy networking services. This is the discovery services, just core DNS, and this is the networking Calico and Canary. We installed it. I mean through script it got installed. So that is stuff. Yeah. So everything is there. Now if you want to check other commands, type kubectl enter, and now you see here you can find out the health of the clusters. So where is this health of the clusters? Do you have any commands for this? Cluster info. So here kubectl cluster info. You see here control plane. We call it a master as a control plane, and API server address this one, and discovery service core DNS is running at this place. Okay. So health of the cluster is good now. So now what to do? So you need to see. It's very simple way I'll put it up. When you go to AWS, then what you ask first thing. So you want to create a VPC, correct now? Okay, VPC, something like it, something like this, and then VPC. After that, you create a EC2 instance. This is the networking services, and this is the EC2, correct? And then you have this networking, compute, storage. So EBS, something like that, or IM you use for the authentication, authorizations, and all, correct? And you also use a scaling group for creating multiple EC2 instance, and you also use load balancer also, correct now? So something similar you can do on Kubernetes also. Kubernetes, we have a namespace which is like a, it's not a networking component, I would say. Namespace you can say is like your project. Each project is different. You can say organization projects. Project will be nice one. I'll explain it to you in simple way. Then we have a pods also. Pod is your compute unit where the content application runs. It's like EC2 for the AWS. Then we have deployment. Okay, deployment. Now deployment we have for SE. Multiple features you have in deployment, but somewhat correlate to scaling group, auto scaling group, like this. And then we have a load balancer also. We call it a service. And then volumes and all you have. So all this similar kind of API resources we have in this also. So when you go to the Kubernetes, what you want? So you create a namespace, pod, deployment service and all. So, and hundreds of features we have it. Let me show you here. kubectl and all the resources I want to know which is available in the Kubernetes. So here API resources. See that typically you see a lot of resources you have, and your journey should be to knowing all these resources. Some of the resources which I was talking about, namespace, pod, deployment, and service, like here. I think if you see that namespace, see nodes resources, pods resources, mm, service resources, deployment resources, and namespace should be somewhere. Let me make this little smaller. Clear the screen. and namespace, you see that somewhere it should be here. Here it is. Yeah. So some of the resources I'm teaching you, but yeah, list of around 60 resources you have which you need to learn. Okay, so more or less what to do. So I run few commands which you can remember that. Um, and here I check my kubectl configurations. Here check the nodes, all pods, clustered info, API resources which is available at this, and so on. So guys, this is the Kubernetes cluster which is ready to use. And now we are going to create namespace, pod, deployment services and all. So what is a namespace? What is a pod? What is a deployment? What is a service? I need to discuss that one and then create it. Okay. So any questions so far, all of you?
If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.